Is it running? Yeah, it is. Okay, this is Honest Jim again with one of my important videos to date, and probably one of my most important videos that I will ever do for you guys. This one is about she done him wrong. It's some personal stories that I've had over many years of gentlemen that come here with stars in their eyes and a hope in their heart, only to be dashed later by the Thai bargirl. So I'm speaking from experience, okay? I've been in and out of here since 96, 97. Going back to my very first trip here, I had a couple of mentors, a couple of American friends that had been here for a while, been coming here for a while to Bangkok, and they advised me that, you're going to hear a lot of stories that are repetitive. One of them is that when she gets to know you a little bit, there's a 3-day rule. 3 days and get out, okay? Because beyond that, it's going to turn into something that you probably dream about and hope for, but it's not going to really work out the way you want. My mother's in the hospital. That's a good one. And believe it or not, my buffalo died, okay? My buffalo died, which is an intricate part of their culture because the buffalo pulls the plow so they can plant the rice, okay? So it's important to them, all right? And most of them have a Thai boyfriend. If you think these girls are working in the bars and making money and running around with the foreigners and collecting money, that they don't have a boyfriend, they'll say it's for their family, it's for maybe they have a kid up with mom and dad up country. But there's always a Thai boyfriend in the background. I've actually had guys go to the girl's house after they broke the 3-day rule and go 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 days and are giving her money. And she'll take them up to their house, wherever it is, up in Chiang Mai or out in Isan or Ayutthaya or wherever. And he'll go to the house and there'll be a guy there, a Thai guy. And this is my cousin. You're going to hear that. My mother's in the hospital. My buffalo died. This is my cousin. Okay, that's the triumvirate. All right, and if you hear anything else like that, run for the hills. Also, just an aside, you may be walking around Bangkok, especially if you cross the overpasses over like Sukhumvit to get from one side of the road to the other. You'll see a poor, destitute woman down there, sitting down there, somewhere in the midway of the overbridge, with a little baby or a little child, and got a cup, with coins. There's a whole organized, I don't know what to call it, or I don't want to use the word gang, but I guess it is, of these people. And those kids don't even belong to those women. It's a complete scam. So try to do your best about that. Do what your heart tells you. If you want to give them some money, go ahead. But like so many things, when you come to Thailand, so many things are not what they appear to be. All right? All right, so I'm going to tell you some personal stories. First one is my friend Leon. Leon was a dear friend of mine from California, and I was living over here in Bangkok at the time for a while. This was like 97, 98, 99. And he was my first friend that came over, to visit. There's been a trail of tears for the guy since then, but he was the first one. And just to give you an idea of how it is, my wife Nam and I were dating back then, and we've been on and off over a number of years, but it's cool now. I've known her for 20 years, but this was back. We were together, and we had a car, and Leon was coming into Suvarnabhumi Airport, and I was in Bangkok, so I couldn't go with Nam in the car to pick Leon up. I had to take a taxi and meet her at the airport when Leon came in, and track him down, and then I was going to get in the car and go. We were going to take Leon to whatever hotel wherever he wanted to go in Bangkok that night. It was one of those midnight flights, So I did that. I got to the airport. There was Leon, there was Nam, and we all were happy to see each other. Oh, it was such a happy day. And then we went to the car park at the airport, and we went up into the whatever level she had left the car on. And I got in the passenger seat. Nam got in the driver's seat up in the front. Leon opened the back door to sit in the back, the passenger seat in the back. And he gets in there, and lo and behold, here's a Thai girl. Hi, how are you? My name is such and such. He hadn't even gotten, out of the airport yet. And unbeknownst to me, Nam never said a word, and I was a little bit embarrassed. And Leon turned out he didn't really care for her. But I'm telling you guys, you are a prize. Your wallet is a prize. When you land, the game is on, right? Believe me, okay? I'm going to tell you a little side story about Leon because it's kind of funny, and it's just kind of funny. Leon ended up coming back and forth to Bangkok and California several times over the next few years, and he was enjoying himself. He was going down to the bars and and having a good time. Well, he had a bad cold, and he was staying on Soy 11, Sukhumvit Soy 11, and I had a doctor down by Soy 1 and Sukhumvit Soy 1 that I saw regularly, and he said, "Well, I want to go see your doctor." And I gave him his name. I gave his name to Leon, and he went and made an appointment and went and saw him for his cold. So that was that. He recovered, and I went to visit Leon in California, maybe the next 6 months or a year. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" Somehow the word Viagra came into the conversation, and he just denied that he needed that. He was 50-something. I don't need Viagra. I can go all night. A manly man. Blah blah. And so yeah, okay. I just didn't pay a lot of attention to it because I really didn't care one way or the other as long as he was happy, fine with me. So I got back to Thailand, to Bangkok, and for some reason I forget, I went to see my doctor. And I'm chatting with him, and I happened to mention, did you like, you met with Leon, I sent him to you, blah, blah, blah. And I said he was okay. Did you prescribe something for him for his cold? And he said, no, he wanted Viagra. Leon's busted cold turkey. And I never said anything to him, but I just keep that, Leon just wanted Viagra. Okay. So that's a side story. So let's get back to we got the Thai boyfriend, the hospital in Buffalo. Here's another one. I was at a bar on Soy 7, Sukhumvit Soy 7, just closed. It used to be a big bar, and it was like a barn. It's called the Beer Garden. And I'm sitting there at the bar one day, and this girl that I've been seeing off and on came up to me and said, "Hello, how are you?" And we had I think I bought her a beer, and we talked a little bit, and she moseyed on because I wasn't looking for any companionship that night. And lo and behold, about 20 minutes later, she comes up and taps me on the shoulder, and she points to some guy down at the end of the bar. "That's an Australian guy," she said. "He wants me to go with him tonight. Do you want me to go with you, or am I going to go with him?" And I just said, "Well, no, you can go with him." And she immediately turned, pivoted, went on down to the bar to go with him. That's what it's like in reality, with this. So, you've heard Leon's story, but more importantly, Leon got caught in the web of lies and deceit. And he had been coming back and forth to Bangkok, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. I talked to him about it. And one day again, several years later, I was in California and I went to see him and I'm talking to him. And he showed me a picture of his girlfriend in Bangkok. And she was young and she was pretty, typical. And I said, oh yeah, it's nice. So how long have you been seeing her? Oh, I've been sending her money for almost a year. I said, oh, I tried to be gentle. You don't want to do that. You haven't been over there in a year, and you've been sending her money for a year. If you go there, guys, if you go there, you can give her money when you're there, but don't put her on the payroll because you're not getting any benefit, and you think that when I do go there, it's going to be roses and champagne. So around December, somewhere in the middle of December of that year, Leon calls me, and he's crying. I said, Leon, what's up, man? I called her up. It's high season coming, right? Everybody's coming to Thailand. Everybody's busy, especially the bargirls. He said, I called her and tried to, set some time, like a 10-day period aside for me to spend time with her between the end of December and New Year's. Wanted to go out for New Year's Eve and until I had to go back around the 7th or 8th of January. Well, I said, well, that sounds great. You've been taking care of her for a year, so she should be accommodating, right? She said, no. You know what she said to me on the phone? I said, no, Leon. What did she say to you on the phone? She told me she already had five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookings for that time frame, and couldn't even work me into her schedule during that time. So it was a total zero, and he'd sent all this money, and he has not come back. It's been years. He has not come back to Thailand to visit or do anything. He was shattered, and he just felt terrible, and you can imagine. So guys, look, if you want to come to Bangkok and you want to have fun, 3-day rule, forget about the hospitalization, forget about the buffalo died, play it straight, 3-day rule, have fun. And if now there are some guys that have worked it out. I'm one, but it took a long time. Nom and I went back and forth quite a bit. At our first wedding, I've been married to her twice. And these are other stories, okay? So you want to subscribe and like and follow me because I've got a lot of tales of woe and tales of joy. So at our first wedding, we rented, we were going to have a reception at a hotel. I think it was the Holiday Inn in Bangkok. And I had 8 or 9 of my foreign friends. Actually, they all showed up for the wedding. For the reception. Of course, it's free food. And we had an ice carving. And Nam put on the dog. She looked beautiful. She put on a beautiful dress after the wedding. And I was wearing a coat and tie, which is kind of a rarity now. So we had invited about 20 people. And told the hotel, and they made the food for 20 people, and they had the seating for 20 people. And I walked into the hotel with Nam, and there were 80 people there. They had set up tables in the hallways, and they had frantically gone out to get more food. And the Thai people love a I don't want to say free food, but they love a happy event. And I had 80 people on my credit card. And I just was amazed. I didn't even know who a lot of these people were. Hadn't seen them before. And they came in, they had a good time. They congratulated me and Nam, and they were wonderful guests. But they cleaned everything out. So, this is the way it is. And nobody told me. And I think Nam knew about it. And apparently a bus from upcountry had arrived with a whole load of people from it was a 4 or 5 bus ride, 4 or 5 hour bus ride to come into Bangkok from upcountry, and a whole load of family and cousins and nephews and aunts and uncles, and everybody seemed to know somebody. But it was a happy event, and it wasn't that bad. This was what, 20 years ago, when prices were better. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the cost of living and what's happened, and I'm going to go into that a lot, and I'm going to cover some other things that you're going to be interested in. So, if you please subscribe, I've got a lot of views. I'm doing good with the views. I've got almost 2,000 of them. I've got some likes. I'm in the hunt with the likes, but I need subscriptions. And I'm going to do a lot more. I'm not going anywhere, and hopefully I'm going to give you a lot of information about Thailand. So be safe out there, guys. All right, this is Honest Jim. Honestly, goodbye.